One greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. This is Reindeer Games, Part 2. When are they going to end? This is an open chat. Please hit the link. You want to bring your set information pertaining to the information. I will give you that here in just a second. Thank you all so much for joining. God bless all. Hold on one second. Anybody that hasn't spoken, please hit the link. Hold on one second. Amen. The Queen got those followers. They loyal. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me. It's the wee hour. Almost 1 a.m. What are you all doing up? Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for those who hit the link. I really appreciate that. Thank the mods on deck for their time. They could be in the bed getting some good rest. Amen. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, everybody. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Night Owl, Nancy. Hi, Miss Gibson. How are you? Hello, Priscilla. Yes, I'm on a roll, bringing you the tea best I can. As I state, you're entitled to your interpretation of the events pertaining to June 15th. As most of you know, everything that you've heard has come from Candace Bly, Boy H, Candace Bly Wells, and Donald Wells. Take it with a grain of salt and know that everything you're hearing and seeing may not be the truth. And perhaps these people are innocent in the disappearance of the child. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I do know that the endless interviews and all that is redundant to me. I'm over it. I've had just about enough of the interviews. I've had enough of the going back and forth, the arguing, the cussing this person out. That it's not even about the child. And you always have to ask yourself, if it's not about the child, and who's it about? Then who are we talking about? Who are we speaking about? What is the point of this story? Because it's not about Summer Wells anymore. It's about Don. You know, it's the Gong Show. And that should tell you something. When you only speak of yourself and your child is missing, that should tell you everything you need to know. And I've told you all that in the beginning of the story. Stay woke. Everything you need to know is at the beginning of the story, not the end, not the middle, at the beginning. Because every story has a beginning. Thank you, Shuni. Thank you so much, honey. If you want to send the Queen a super chat, you are welcome. All donations to the channel by Cash App, $Big Angie 129. Thank you so kindly. There's something off with this story. I brought this information to you hours ago because one of the chat members was on another YouTuber's channel, and I saw where they had been commenting. And I'll go ahead and throw this YouTuber's name out because I don't have a problem. You know, I'm not a hater, so I don't mind. I was in their comment section, and one of my members, chat members, was commenting, and I was like, you know, what are you talking about? This person said that they thought that perhaps that one of the boys was dressed in girls' clothing, one of the younger children. So it kind of took me aback, and I thought, wait a minute, a boy dressed in girls' clothing? So I started thinking, dang, why is it every time I look at these photos of this child, she looks different to me? It's very odd to me, strange to me, that there's so many photos of Summer Wells where she looks different. Now, is it perhaps that she was malnourished, not fed, and she looks thinner? And there are photos that she is awfully thin. And I do not think it's an age progression situation. I just think something is wrong. Something is very wrong. And I do believe that these people have not done right by their children. I do believe there's issues of abuse, sexual abuse, I don't know, but some form of abuse against the Wells children. And currently, Summer Wells is missing, and 3 of her siblings, who are all boys, are currently in the state's care. And I pray that they're getting the help that they need, mental, physical. They're warm, they're safe, they're being treated right, they're being talked to right, and they're also being, looked into as far as what they know about June 15th. Naturally, we won't hear of that information until further notice. There's something hanky-panky going on with the Wells. I think the Wells have a lot going on in their lives. I think they have been doing a lot of things. And I believe that all that's going to eventually fall its way out of the closet because their good friend Allie made sure to put them on blast with saying that she locked the child in the basement, abused the child, and then lo and behold, we get a view of this dungeon. It's not a pretty view. It's not a place where I would take a dog or a cat, a monkey or a billy goat, let alone a human being. And then you have to ask yourself, what the hell was going on up there on that mountain? Scalpel for a stair to get into the house. A boy's bedroom facing the front door. A kitchen cluttered. A room behind a wall partition. And a dungeon as a basement, as a bedroom for children and parents. Not a pretty sight. The property cluttered with trash, metal, broken concrete, trucks, school bus, broken down trucks, automobiles, sheds, so on and so forth. Not an appropriate place for a child. Out in the middle of nowhere, no museums, no parks, no gas stations, no libraries, no schoolhouse, no football fields, tennis courts, nothing. Middle of nowhere. And as I told you all about East Tennessee living, people just don't run up on your property snooping around because the point is, I don't know what's up that drive and I ain't gonna risk getting my neck cut, my head blowed off, teeter-tottering around unless there's something up there that I want. And I know I can get in and get out without being seen and being caught. This is everyday shenanigans.
Hello.
Hello, Dobby. Are you there, honey?
Why is yeah, I got it. Oh,
Okay.
why is
Somebody
it
keeps asking about
that
hot
we
water. I don't
should
know, sweetheart. I don't know what Candace Bly and her husband had going on that mount. I can't tell you if they had hot water, old water, new water, toilet to flush, tub. I can't say, sweetheart. Thank you, Nancy. I'd like to have some different people hit the link to give their opinion. This is a new hour. I'd like some new people to hit the link.
you
You
want
have
me to go
something you
away?
want to. No, but I'm just saying, it's
Oh,
just out of respect to the hostess, people, there should be different people hitting the link. You want to give your opinion pertaining to what you think has happened to Summer. The issue of maybe perhaps the boys were dressed in girl clothing that has been mentioned in a chat last night. It's a very wicked thing to say. As I state, all these are allegations pertaining to the Wells. And as I state, I don't want to put anything out there mischievous or felonious about the boys because they are children. But someone mentioned that to me that they do believe the photos that we have been seeing is one of the boys dressed in girls' clothing. Is this true?
could this be a train?
Could it be what?
A train.
I don't understand
like
what
the
you're saying. I
train
can't hear you.
station, in and out, in and out. The
A
train
train.
station,
I mean,
in
what do
and
you
out,
mean?
in and out. They used to call. They used to call like trafficking a train, like a train
Oh, okay.
station,
Well, just
in and
say
out,
traffic.
in and out.
Stole the children, use the children, back page, that was mentioned. Are we talking about these people selling their kids, offering their kids, loaning their kids for sexual purposes? What are we saying? Hello, Tina. Tina,
Yes.
are you there? You act like you sleep, Tina.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
If you wanted to join the live stream, hit the link. If you have something valuable that you want to say, bring to the forefront pertaining to the disappearance of someone else, the shenanigans of these interviews with Chris, the interview room. I have to speak my mind. This is my channel. I can say what I want to say. I'm tired of the interviews. I'm over it.
They weren't the Waltons or Little House on the Prairie kind of country back country folks. You know what I mean? They're not you know, the Waltons.
Well, we know that now. That's for sure. We
Thing.
do
And I
know.
don't and maybe I don't know if it sounds judgy, if I'm being judgmental or whatever, but my perception of
Hey, Ladybug.
the picture that they're trying to portray of themselves is a lot different from where they're actually at.
So tell me, what is the image that they're trying to portray? I'll be listening. I got to get me something. Hold on, man. Go ahead, man.
It sounds like they're trying to portray this image that they're church going
Okay.
country folk that are very humble. They don't do drugs. They don't do bad things. You know, he works hard every day, and she's the mom raising the child, and they live, you know, very clean life. That's the image that I feel that in the beginning that they were trying to portray while they were giving an interview high as kite about their missing daughter. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't add up for me. So nothing else about them
Queen,
adds to me because I find they're unreliable people that I can't trust what they're saying at all anymore, ever, about their perfect. I mean, and I know he's come on like and done some interviews where he's saying that, oh, nobody's perfect, you know, nobody's perfect, and you know, we all gotta love each other and get through all that past, you know, and but he's got a missing daughter, and there's a lot of stuff going on currently. It's not in his past, current. It's today, right now. This is the shit that's going down at your farm, at your little, you know, nice little humble little abode, dude. You know, like I don't know about this image. Like it's just not going over very well with me.
I think that it's all going to come back to the phones. And if I could elaborate on phones to people, if that would be okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. One thing that people got to understand, because like I was telling before, I work advanced tech support. The phone is only through the network. That's through the cell towers. So they can ping those. But anything that they do on Facebook, on Snapchat, that does not go through the network. That does not go through their carrier. So they have to get information from and permission from Facebook, from Snapchat, from TikTok. That's why this information is not coming back so fast as everybody wants. That does not go through, who was it, Verizon and AT&T. The 911 calls do. The teams do. But if you want those things from Snapchat to Hunter or H, that's going to have to go through Snapchat. FBI's going to have to get permission. And then you can get into their, and that's going to take time. Until all that gets back, I think that's when we're going to get all brain.
What are you talking about, a baby goat? Please, y'all,
Yeah.
stop. I can't.
What?
Somebody said something about a baby goat in the house. Y'all, come on.
I wonder what the average I wonder what the average time of cell phone records and things like that coming back are.
Cell phone records
Because it
usually
seems
take about
like
I don't know. Yes, Night Owl. They need to just tell the truth. Yes, I'm over
how
this.
long? 6 months, did you say?
no 60 days on cell phone records, but they didn't. You got to think they did not have cell phone coverage in a lot of those areas, so they're going through Wi-Fi. Then they're going through Facebook.
Right.
They're not
Well,
going
you
through
know, my
Verizon.
source, somebody told me that, and I believe everything they said. On a Verizon network, they could not get no service. So many
No,
miles out, because I got it in my notes.
right. I mean, I get calls from there every day. All day today was nothing but Tennessee. I don't have service. I can't get on my phone. I mean, that's all I hear all the time. And there's no service. There's no 911.
Yeah.
And when
Bad
Candace
business. Bad business.
when Candace talked to Dawn, that was through Facebook Messenger through her Wi-Fi. So they would have to go through Facebook to get permission through Facebook to get into Candace's Facebook to get into her Messenger. That's going to take time. That has nothing to do with the carrier.
So how do you know that she called him? So what you saying? Well, we know she couldn't have called 911 on Messenger. That I don't believe.
No, that's why she was talking to Dawn through Messenger, and then had to put her phone down and use her mom's, because her phone can't call 911 through Messenger.
Now, Ryan, how you know that?
Because I do this all day. You can't call 911 through Messenger. Oh, you mean how do I know she put down the phone? That's because that's
No,
what.
how do you know? How you know she called Don on Messenger? How about she couldn't have called him directly?
There was a message. There was something that was said that he, during one of his interviews, he said, I couldn't talk to Candace.
Okay.
Then he did another interview. From what I remember, he said that he spoke to her all the way home.
Yeah.
On the phone. I don't know if it was texting or whatever. So that Verizon thing sounds about right. And
Yeah.
if you're doing kind of like sketchy things, like hiding your daughter's
Not out. Stop.
body, and, I don't know what else they're all into, but yeah.
Well, I just wanted to clear that up because, and the reason you asked me a question, I'm trying to remember it, but she was talking, according to her, she has Verizon. Verizon has no service. So she had to call Dawn through Wi-Fi on Messenger.
Okay.
Then she couldn't call 911 because if there's no service, there's no tower, she can't. So she had to
Well,
use
you
her
know
phone.
what? Well, you know where I'm getting ready to go with all that. You
Go ahead.
post a lot to Facebook. Where you calling from? Where you posting from? Stay woke.
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
They post to Facebook a lot. Where are you posting from?
Wi-Fi from the phone.
So you got Wi-Fi, but you ain't got a direct line to call out.
Right. You can take any phone and take the SIM out of it and connect it to Wi-Fi and still get on Facebook. If you have an iPhone, you can still iMessage. You don't need it.
I know about connecting to Wi-Fi and not have actual phone service, but what I'm saying is they do a lot of chit chat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I hear you, and I'm sure just like here, you can walk out 20 feet from my house and finally get service, but I can't get it in here. I'm talking to you through Wi-Fi. I can't call 911 from inside my house. So I'm sure she probably walks around the property, gets service, things like that at sometimes. But that moment, and I just wanted to clear that up because nobody understood why they couldn't.
Well, I'm going to read what somebody said in the chat. Right. He said he spoke to her all the way home, then said
Right.
Candace would have called him if she had found Summer. Which one is it?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's either you talked to her all the way home or you didn't.
Right.
What happened? What did you do? Yeah, exactly.
I was
And
just
you
trying to get
don't,
back
and
on
listen,
the-
and you don't need service. You don't need service to dial 911.
if say that again.
You don't need service to dial 911.
No, as long as you have a connection to the tower. If you have a connection to the tower, but if you don't, I don't know how to explain that. If you have a phone that you don't have any bars on, and you cannot connect to a tower, you can't call 911. You don't have to have service, but you have to be able to have some kind of connection.
Somebody said she used grandma's phone because she had AT&T. Well, that's why I do remember her saying she used her mother's phone. I thought to call 911.
Right. Verizon has no service out there. So they don't even have, even though they have a Verizon phone, they cannot connect to that tower. So if they can't connect to the tower, they can't call 911.
But now you got $1,000 phone. Why?
Because now she's AT&T. Remember that there was pictures of her taken at an AT&T store the next day.
Well, I'm just saying, why you spend that kind of money for a phone allegedly?
Right. I hear you.
Stay woke.
How long has she had that?
I heard she went the next day.
We're going too long.
See, this is the thing about this story. It's like all the other stories. You don't even know who you're listening to.
Yeah. Well,
Hello.
I just saw pictures of her at an AT&T store is the only reason, because I know you like proof. The only reason that I brought that up.
Well, this is the thing. I don't get riled up about what they say in the chat or Facebook, because I know I go by what I heard day one, and I'm gonna say this, and I'll let y'all talk the whole damn live. Dispatch call. She left the property and came back, and her child was missing. I'm done.
Right.
Ain't got nothing else to say. Priscilla, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, hon?
Hey, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Hurley, Virginia.
All right, what you got to say?
I honestly think that they're guilty because from day one, she didn't want to do the interview with anybody because of Megan Boswell, Evan Boswell's.
Lord, don't you start, Priscilla. Now, what the hell Megan got to do with this? Why did she say that?
You don't remember her saying that? Don had said that when he was talking to Times News Online.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Well, Megan's a good storyteller for those of you that follow that story, and I covered it extensively.
I'm gonna get back down.
No, you ain't got to get back down. Well, okay.
I did see some of the chat and just kind of, somebody said you can call 911 with Wi-Fi. You can if you have Wi-Fi calling.
Priscilla, you didn't have to jump back down, dear. Well, Megan's a big liar, so that's why. That lets me know if that was actually said, then that means you probably did do something this summer, because we already know Megan killed that baby. So if you worried about Megan, then that means you're guilty too. Because what does Megan have to do with you? So what are you saying? You copycat? You copied what Megan did to her baby?
Okay.
Because we know Megan was detached. She wanted that damn boy. That's why she killed her baby. She didn't want to be bothered no more with that damn baby. Somebody said, remember that he said he was so surprised that she had service all the way home. See, I ain't watched all those interviews with Chris.
Right.
Don't. Can you hear me chewing, honey? You gotta chew. Listen to this man.
Well, what do you?
Sorry, let me be rude.
And I'm sorry, I just wanted to clear all that up on that. And like I said, somebody said something about not being able to call 911 through Wi-Fi calling. You can, but Wi-Fi calling wasn't introduced until iPhone 10 and then on some Samsung. So if she doesn't have it hooked up and she didn't have the capability, she couldn't have used it. Now I'm going to shush about the phones. I just wanted to clear up the whole why it's taking so long. It's my job.
Because you ain't gonna never get to the truth.
Okay,
Ain't y'all
Queen.
figured it out? Yeah.
All right, listen, let's think of something. Do you remember when Don basically said that originally they were going to give Summer to the grandma? There was no connection with the mom. They changed their mind, and there was no connection with the mom, and they were going to give her to the grandma. Then they changed their mind.
Was that not Allie's version?
No, I don't think so. That's Don was talking about it.
See, I haven't watched all of Don's interviews, so whatever you're repeating now is stuff I have not watched myself. So go ahead.
Oh, well, he said up until Summer was like 18 months old, Candace never really had a connection with her. And when she was born, they were originally going to give her to grandma.
Yeah, I heard about the grandma thing from the Alley.
And then that she was 18 months old, and then Candace started, having a relationship with Summer or whatever. But do you think, because originally that was the plan, that could have just happened?
What do you mean?
Because I mean, how does grandma just disappear and just it be okay?
You all over the place. You first said something about a bond, and which one you want me to answer first?
What I'm saying.
Huh?
Are we on? When Summer was originally born, they were grandma was gonna adopt.
Hand her over to the grandmama, but they didn't. Okay, so she bonded with her shortly.
But they didn't. Exactly. So now that grandma's missing, do you think that she just saw enough of Don and said, you know what, I'm taking Summer out of here? And Candace said, yeah, Mom, take her. I've had enough.
No. Because that don't make sense. Grandmother was allegedly there when the child went missing. So where was Summer been hiding?
Allegedly.
I think y'all think about that.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly,
grandma left like 2 days after. Allegedly.
I ain't heard that. I thought the grandmama just left.
Summer. Well, no, allegedly Summer was, what I'm saying is allegedly Summer was supposed to be there and go missing from there. But then how come after Summer got missing, it was 2 days later and grandma was gone?
But see, I'm gonna tell you something about the 2 days gone. That don't sound right to me, because it wasn't even mentioned, not even a week or two ago, that the woman left. I don't ever remember hearing that woman left right after Summer went missing. Somebody help me out.
Yes, she got in her truck and she left and went somewhere for 2 days.
Yeah, but 2 days versus now weeks is totally different.
No, I know she came back. And now she's she's gone again.
I just heard she's gone permanently.
They were originally going to give her
after Summer's been gone. So I don't know nothing about that. I think the girl is gone, and y'all know what I mean. She's gone. She been gone.
I'm sorry, I lost you there.
I said the child been gone. She was dead. And they didn't know what happened to Summer Wells. They're just doing a Megan Boswell. Since y'all so concerned about being judged like Megan, you doing a Megan.
Yeah, you got to read those half-truths.
Well, let me tell you something about a liar. A liar will spin a web, but know that whatever he or she is saying, the truth is in the lie. Shut up.
Yeah, half-truths. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Don't you find it funny you mentioned the word dungeon and your child was living in a dark room? Stay woke. You're speaking of the resurrection. One could say, well, he's a Christian. Then I could say, nah, I already know she's dead. Stay woke.
What about
You're
this
spinning
one?
me about a
Don
dream
says,
you had. One could say, well, she ain't dead now, she's sold. I don't think of her as being with somebody well off, which is it? She
and
don't
then
know what to
Candace
believe.
said, I dreamed she caught a. Candace said, I dreamed she caught a fish, and Don said she gave it hugs and kisses.
Mm-hmm. These people are grandstanders. That's all. They're sick to me. Let me tell you something. What's going to be the clinchers when you find out the truth and you've been listening at this BS all along and you've been sitting here watching two killers? That's when all y'all going to see. That's when you're going to really be sick. When you find out that they did kill a girl.
I don't know.
And you've been listening to
I don't know what it is about this
interviews
case.
and stuff and just, duck, goose and this and that. Because these stories are usually all the same. The people are playing with your emotions because they can. You see it every day. Chris Watts should teach you something.
Well, the only one I have emotions for
What
is
did
Summer.
the neighbor say? Listen, what did the neighbor say in the commentary in the Netflix documentary about that disappearance of the wife and the children? He has never talked this much ever. You think about that. He has never talked this much since I've known him. Now you put that on paper. So all that time, the Papa's walking around the house with the camera. Chris Watts is just talking and talking and talking. You don't know because you don't know Chris Watts, but the neighbor does. And the neighbor said he ain't never talked this much in his damn life. You don't know.
Well, darn, Don doesn't have many neighbors.
Well, what I'm saying is people do opposite of what they normally do when they're lying. So Chris Watts wasn't a talker, but he did when the cop came to walk around the house with the friend. The neighbor was able to see something's not right because he doesn't talk. You see where I'm going? So somebody knows something about these people, how they act, how they react, how they talk. That's why the documentary was made, for this guy to tell us, hey, this guy never talks. But all of a sudden, the cop comes with the friend to look around the house. Chris Watts was a walkie-talkie. We would have never known that until the neighbor told him. Yes, adding more to the story. You don't find it strange? He's the lead of the story, but yet he was not there. Stay woke. See, I watch everything.
Yeah, I thought about that yesterday. The dogs weren't
I don't
there.
listen-
Well, how did you know
something.
if you weren't there?
I don't listen at YouTube. I don't listen at Facebook. I go by what you are telling me. And I know there's something wrong with somebody that spins the story that was not there in it. Come on now. That'd be just like right now.
Yeah.
Somebody here, I call somebody and say this building or wherever I'm at caught on fire. But yet that person is the only one spinning the story, but they were not there. We know legally you're not even supposed to do that because somebody's going to ask you something you cannot answer. That's why I kept trying to tell y'all, everything you need to know is at the beginning of the story. You don't need TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. They've already told you everything you need to know. Some of you just won't listen. But you want to make up all this extra stuff. You don't need it. They told you what you need to know. He's the mouthpiece, but yet he was at work. Think about it. Does that make logical sense? How can you tell something you weren't there? You couldn't even tell Chris what she had on in the bed when you got up out of the bed.
That's what
You
I
I
don't
don't think they
remember
ever
what your
confirmed
child
he was
had.
at work.
Say what?
I don't think they ever confirmed he was at work that day.
Okay, but that's the point I'm trying to make. It's illogical to spin the story if you were never there. You should know that man is going to ask you
Yes.
things about, did she have earrings on? How did her hair look? What color was her shirt, her pants, her pajamas? How was she looking? You can't tell it if you were never there. And yet for 9 weeks, he's the walking, talking. How could you not see there's something wrong with that? It's just like right now. If Pookie gets shot on 15th Street, how the hell am I getting ready to go over there and tell the cops and the news people what the hell went on? I was not there. He done already told you what's up. So y'all believe what you want to believe. I don't indulge in that foolishness. Because I know better. Because I know, ain't y'all done figured out what's been going on with Donald Wells and Candace Bly? He knows Candy can't spin the web properly. He done told her, let me talk.
Yep.
Thanks. Let me talk. You can't talk. You'll mess it up.
I'll tell the story.
I'll tell the story. You will mess it up because you can't talk. I'm going to do it. But where he messed
Well,
up
let's
is,
just hope.
you said you was at work. So you can't spin the story if indeed you was at work. Where were the children? We're going to go back and forth with that too. Where were the kids? They either were with Mr. Wells or they was at that house. Where were they? Where were they? Where were the kids?
Well, maybe he'll talk so much he'll get to where he.
But we already know, if we are to
what he
believe
said.
what Donald said. Donald said they was at the shed. So what did I tell y'all in my live the other night? That we can dispel the rumor that the children were left alone. Or no, they didn't go with him to work. Excuse me. They didn't go with Don to the job because allegedly they were standing at the shed when he pulled up.
Right.
Okay.
And he can only tell the story so much because he wasn't there. That's why we're not getting anywhere.
So don't you find it funny? You're talking about 9 weeks. You're the only one talking about what happened on June 15th.
Because he knows if Candace talks, she's going to eventually get broke.
She'll mess it up. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Amen. See, sometimes it's best to listen.
Yep.
Don't let other outside forces influence your brain cells. Listen to what the people in the story are telling you, because that's where the answer lies to June 15th.
And if you want to know if Don Wells is lying, listen to him talk. When he talks about work, there ain't one mess up. He can tell you everything about it. But when he starts on to where summer, I don't know. I don't know. What happened to? I don't know.
I
But it
don't
goes back to
remember.
work.
I don't know.
Yep. But he
I don't
talks about
remember.
work.
I don't
and then
know.
one-
I don't remember.
Exactly.
Well,
Work,
let's bring this up because we're live to new information. What is this I'm here that he has been fired?
the last live that I saw him
I didn't
in.
hear that.
No, yeah, I didn't. The last live I saw him in yesterday, he was at work, and he said that he could possibly lose his job because of what his boss is going through. Because people are threatening his boss now.
Well, what is his boss going through?
They're threatening. He didn't
Who's
go into
threatening his boss?
the people. Like the guy that went and actually filmed the thing doesn't even know Don Wells, the dog trail. But he's even getting threatened. People are going crazy, threatening all these people.
So why would I threaten his boss?
Because they think that he hired a guy that does SA, and they think it's horrible that he's keeping him as an employee, and they've been to this house making
Okay.
phone calls.
Well, think about this for a minute. Why would you go hurt that guy and you don't hurt Don Wells? Say what?
Exactly.
I'm gonna hurt you because you Summer Wells' father. If I think you did something to him, what the hell I'm gonna hurt that dude for?
That's one thing that's being said on all channels. Leave other people alone. Leave their families alone. Quit harassing other people.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this one more time till y'all get it in your head. Did you hear the boss tell you he was threatened?
I did. There's supposedly a text, but I did not see that, so I cannot confirm.
Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. Did you hear that his boss said he was threatened?
I'm gonna say no. I mean, I didn't hear it.
Okay. So that means,
I did
once
not.
again, everything you're hearing is out of the breath of Don Williams. Tacoma truck, the scent of the dog, drug dealers, dope dealers, sexual predators, Don Williams. Straight one. Pookie, Ray Ray, Don Williams. Bubba, Don Williams.
I do got a question though. If this red Tacoma truck is not an issue, on August 5th, TBI posted they're still looking for the vehicle. Are they not, or are they? I mean, come on, let's come clear with that. Yes,
Okay.
no, maybe.
But listen, Dobie. I don't know how to make y'all understand this, baby, and it's not to be mean. Why do you keep listening to what these other people are saying?
No, this is a TBI update.
Okay.
That they're still looking for that.
When did
Why?
TBI tell you they weren't involved?
When did they say they weren't involved?
Uh-huh.
What did you say?
Do you think the TBI is not involved? Is that what your question is?
No, I said that's what they posted on August 5th, that they're still looking for this truck. Why?
Okay. But can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
When people were being shot at in Virginia and Maryland back in 2002 by the DC sniper, what did the law officials tell the public?
I don't know.
They told them
Sorry,
they were
I
looking
missed
for a
it.
certain type. No, just listen. They told them they was looking for a certain type of vehicle, and if you had any information, to give them a call. They did tell you that. I know that's who's shooting the people in the Washington D.C. area. They lied. Stay woke.
Oh.
I don't gotta tell you nothing. I tell you what I want to tell you, because I'm the law. And the law will lie to you to get to the bottom of the case. I will go in the other interrogation room and tell Pookie that Ray Ray said you did it, even though Ray Ray didn't. Now, do you follow me?
Right.
Okay. If I don't want these people knowing I know they killed that kid, I can lie and say we got a car we looking for when I know damn well ain't no Tacoma truck picked up somewhere else. Stay woke. I want to see what you gonna do.
So a front.
It's a front.
So like a front.
It's a front.
Yeah. Okay, this makes sense now to me.
Thank you, Julie. They
I'm
lie
thinking like-
to make you comfortable. I want you to get comfortable thinking I don't think you killed that kid. So therefore, I'm gonna let you appease to the public and cry and moan about a Tacoma truck. Somebody say something. You know who did it. If you know who did it, come forward. Okay, well, guess what? Y'all ain't even figured out. They just told you they involved. See, that's why I keep telling y'all, you gotta listen. Remember what he said about the truck? They down there selling drugs, doing this. Well, remember Candace Bly said, if you know something, come forward. I don't know nothing about a Tacoma truck. Well, ain't you married to Don Wells? So Don Wells didn't tell you that a Tacoma truck been sitting at the bottom of the drive? Damn, they just told on themselves. I'm done with it. Y'all can take over the show. I'm just gonna listen. Because see, don't nobody listen. You're listening to Facebook and TikTok. TikTok ain't what the answer is.
I don't get on TikTok.
Well, but you see where I'm going now, don't you?
Yeah, I hear you.
Stop listening and let that stop. They just told on themselves. If you know something, tell us. Come forward. But Donald Wells just told us. Somebody came to me and said, the truck was sitting in my drive. Well, you didn't run that by Candy? You never ran that by your own wife? That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. Why you think he's doing all the talking? Man, them folks is guilty as day long.
Yeah, it seems like his story's changing along with YouTube.
Thank you. Yes, Kim. TBI said, well, sheriff said, everybody is a suspect and or however you want to word it, person of interest. So therefore, all the rumors about who passed the test, took a test, waited 5 days to take the test, it don't mean nothing. And for the person that jumped in my chat talking about Jose was cleared, did you not hear what the sheriff said? Thank you. I ain't never said Jose was involved. We don't even know where Jose is. There you go.
Oh, something just hit. Something just hit me. Something just hit me. Well, Grandma's taking Jose to North Carolina. I said something just hit me when you said that.
Okay.
I said, okay, Grandma's taking Jose to North Carolina, but really he's from where H's dad's from.
Somebody brought up on their YouTube channel that they, ran the name and he was there, but some of the timeline don't add up with the same time that Don was there. But you always got to remember that doesn't mean anything. That's just Google searches, whatever. He could have been living with somebody and didn't have no legal paperwork going to an address. I don't know, but I do find it suspicious. But this same man that allegedly came from New York has also lived in the state of Utah. Very odd. But is it happenstance?
Well,
I don't know. But it's
I
peculiar.
thought Grandma said she
Let's say
took him
that.
to New York, North Carolina.
You're not listening, baby. You're not listening,
That's kind of
sweetheart.
weird.
That was probably a year ago when all that stuff went down with them.
Yeah.
That's 2020.
That's back in
Not
October.
21. Not 21. Okay, Kim, stop. It's looking like for a unicorn. See, this is what you ought to understand about what's going on. You don't know anything because you don't have a timeline. They're just talking. Just talking. If somebody don't tell you, hey, on the 15th of the 2021, June, this day, you don't even know what you're listening to. I keep telling you all that. Somebody has to tell you verbatim, on May 1st, I did this. I took Pookie Ray to North Carolina, South Carolina, put him on an airplane. You never. They don't even know where Jose is. It's like that Dizzy Broad jumping over talking about Jose out there in Utah. Well, whatever. Just lies. Look up stuff. I don't believe anything I've heard.
All that. Oh.
I don't believe anything I've heard. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Nothing.
What?
Because you don't have a receipt to nothing.
We kind of know that. We kind of know what the time frame was that Summer dropped off H. I mean that Candace dropped off H, and then says she brought Summer home. Think of it this way: if something happened and Don up with her, how far could he actually get in 3 hours? How
get
far
a lot
away
of places.
could he have went?
You can get anywhere in 3 hours.
Like 2.5 hours.
Well, you got to remember, Virginia's right over the state line from Bristol, Tennessee. So that's nowhere. That's nowhere. That's not even
Right.
That's no. North Carolina is next door. Virginia's next door. It would take nothing to go drive over there, dump the body, come straight back. You ain't got to go sightseeing in there to dump a body. You just dump the body, come on back, and start thinking of the life you're gonna spend.
Right, because I know there's only about 3 hours is all they would have had.
That you know of. 2 o'clock, 2:30 is what my guesstimate is. That she was standing outside talking to H. It's running from about up to 2:45. But see, ain't nobody wearing no watch, so we can't say. But allegedly, a certain conversation was overheard. So I'm gonna leave it at that because I can't tell everything. But just let's leave it at 2:45 at the latest.
So we have from 2:45 to 6:30.
2:45. Yeah. Or 6:15, say. So that's 2:45. That's
And
3.
Okay.
4,
The
5,
guy
6.
said in one of the interviews, he said he saw a
3.5
red
hours.
truck himself and helped them because they were stuck or some nonsense. See, it's changing now. So first they're selling drugs. First somebody said they in my driveway. Now you help the red truck. What would you? Oh God, I'm dead. See, that's what
Oh, where did that come from?
That's somebody in the
that one.
chat. Guys, Z.
And there is facts that she did post a picture on Facebook at 6:06 p.m. that night on June 15th.
She posted what?
She posted pictures of the boys. It was an older picture at 6:06.
Okay, right. And you see an arm of possibly Summer. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That was an add-on. That's an add-on picture.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, it's probably a ruse
I can tell.
to show that my child was alive.
Yeah.
But then the messed up part is you're now lowering your window of when she got missing. So now we're gonna go from 6:06 to that time down to 6:30. You're messing yourself up and don't know it.
Right. That was my point. It was. I don't care what the picture was. It was 6:06.
Yeah. So 6:06 to now 6:30. The child went missing.
And it was 6:20. What? 23.
No, listen. That picture was added on there, and a picture.
We're not worried about that. We're worried about time.
Posted.
I'm
Well,
not.
see, but this is why I keep trying to explain to you. I'm gonna say it 1,000 times. It doesn't matter about the damn pictures because you don't know when they were actually taken. I can post a picture. It doesn't mean I just took it. I posted it at 6:06, but did I take it at 6:04?
Right.
Now you see.
That was my point. So from 6:06 to 6:23, it was when she called 911.
Well,
supposedly she searched everywhere for her in what is that, 15 minutes maybe?
So let's say the child took the picture. She was in the picture with the kid. She went downstairs, and then the perpetrator came in between that time frame or whenever she left the top floor and went down to the bottom floor and got abducted.
There is no perpetrator coming with all those dogs. I have
where did
dogs.
They go? Well, let him tell it. Wait a minute, they missing. Remember that all the dogs left the compound. I'm dead.
How did he know that if he was working?
Thank you.
I got 3 dogs, and they can't.
This is why I told you. This is why I keep telling you, make it make sense. Yep. Now you want to tell us that the dogs got up and got backpacks and decided to take a hike down the mountain. We're getting ready to go to the swimming hole. Hey, come on, everybody. Let's do the cha-cha down the gravel driveway.
Somebody says there was 6 puppies.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, the dogs. They were doing the cha-cha, the electric slide, the soul train. Them dogs had it going on June 15th. Come on, y'all.
No,
don't y'all see where this is going? These people are lying. If you just sit and listen to all the stuff Don Wells has told you, he's already told on himself. It's only a matter of saying, where is Summer Wells?
What's funny though is they have pictures from that night that they got there, and there's dogs in those pictures, and they're there in the next.
But that's the point of the lie. I ain't putting it out well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I want you to know. But
But
I ain't thinking you gonna find out later because I was stupid enough to still post a picture after I told you this lie over here.
But he's all over Facebook and so these pictures. He can see that. I mean, come on.
But that's not. Let me tell you, baby. When you lie, you don't think that far in advance.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
You don't think. Yeah, I'm saying you don't think that far in advance when you're lying.
And then Kid said, "Why would you bring those dogs up here when all my dogs were here?"
And that's why see another lie. He said they gone.
They must have
and then before he said that, she said, well, y'all know not to bring them dogs up here. You know I got my dogs and they scaring our dogs and it's going to mess up the scent. And then we hear weeks later, here he comes talking about the dogs got up and left. They went to the Dollar General. I'm dead.
And that's exactly.
The dog went to the Dollar General. They didn't have to sell on dog food. And the dogs now went to the damn Dollar General.
That's why
you're killing me.
None of their stories go along. I
Wait,
she I share with
they're adding along. They're adding on as they
me.
go along.
Actually,
That's what a liar does.
this
I add on something extra. I hear you talking, I hear you whispering. Now I gotta add something extra. But see, this is the thing that you all ain't ever thought about. Because I don't never hear none of you talk about this in the chat. You ain't said nothing
no,
about
my dad used to tell me.
what they actually told law enforcement on June 15th. They won't.
Right.
Because you
My
got to
dad used to
remember,
tell me, if you lie
once
to
you
me,
sign, listen, once you sign that statement, you can't take it back. You forgot about that, didn't you?
that's true.
Once you write
My
down the
dad used to
statement,
tell me, if you lie to me,
yeah. Once you write that statement down, that long piece of paper with all them lines going across, you can't take it back. You sign your name.
yeah, my dad used to
Bottom of
say,
the statement.
you lie, and you'll have to
You
tell
can't
another
take
lie
it
to
back.
prop up that lie.
So imagine you wrote a statement to the police department of what happened that day, and then you sign your signature. Now, put that what she wrote versus what the hell they're spinning now. You know it's messed
Well,
up.
where do we see that?
See what?
That statement.
What I'm saying is hypothetical. I'm just saying common sense. You know she had to sign a statement when her child went missing. You always sign a statement of any crime of what happened.
Right.
But what I'm saying is whatever she wrote on that day, you know it doesn't match what you're hearing now. And you can't take it back. That's what I'm saying. You can't take it back. So don't you think they've gone back to the statement and said, that's not what she said. She didn't say that. She didn't say this. And now how you going to explain it when they double back and say, oh, can you come down to the headquarters? I want to talk to you about something. Can't take it back.
Well, I know that's a long way to go up there to that house, and a big
Yes,
risk
it
you'd
is.
be taking to go up there.
Well, that's what that guy said. That first guy that interviewed him, he said, you know, he was very neutral during that interview. But then he told him, he says, look, Don, I'm just going to say it. You can't even see your house from the road. How do I know what's up that drive if I've never been up there? That's true. You don't know if there's a Rottweiler in the middle. You don't know if there's a shed in the middle. You don't know if there's even a property of a house up there. You don't know nothing till you drive up there and get up there and see what's up there. So you mean to tell me some random bloke just drove up that drive because he was a nosy Parker or a pedophile, phantom, whatever he was, and he said, yeah, I'm going to pick this street right here, and I'm getting ready to go up this drive here, and I'm getting ready to kidnap me, somebody's kid, but I don't know that there's a kid up here. I don't know if there's a girl up here. I don't know what the hell's up here. Come on now.
I don't know if this homeowner has a gun, so they'd be taking a big risk. Because people in Tennessee that live out in the country like that,
yes, they have
their own
weapons.
protection.
Of course they do. Well, of course they do. Why would they not? They're in the middle of nowhere. You should have a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You are, if you're able to be a legal carrier and not have a felony, yes, it would be expected for you to have a weapon. So that's the point. And we all know the rules living out here. You don't go up private drives. You know better. You just don't do it. You just don't do it.
A lot of people get shot that way. People know better, I think.
Yeah. You know not to go up a private drive. They don't need a sign to say, you know, keep out or place under surveillance. Come on. We know the rules here. Don't do it. Not saying people ain't done it. I ain't saying people haven't done felonious things going up to a drive to rob a person or whatever, but common sense, you just rarely hear people going up people's drives to kidnap their kids. I haven't heard it since I've been living.
And if you do watch all of the other people that have been doing this for a living for 30, 40, 50 years
Yeah,
say the same thing.
yeah,
I mean, that's their job.
yeah, yeah,
They're professionals. They've been through it. And
yeah.
they say this did not happen.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened, but that
yeah,
did not.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've never heard it, and I'm 50 years old, and I ain't heard of no child
Yeah.
on no dirt road getting kidnapped. I'll just tell you that now. Nancy says, why don't they have a sign? No trespass, private, keep out. They ain't got it, Nancy, because they know ain't nobody coming up there, what I just said. They know ain't nobody coming up there to do nothing.
Because they're out in the sticks.
Because you
No
know
one's gonna
better.
stop by.
Because people know better than to go up private drives for the very reason you don't even know what's going. You don't even know what's up the damn drive to go up there. You only went up there because you was invited, or you got lost. But it's very rare. Come on now. That's what Google's for.
And the one time they get lost, they're going to kidnap a kid. If that even did happen, come on.
Exactly. Telling you.
Yep.
Nobody went up that road. Nobody took that kid.
And the
Too
worst
risky.
part about it is,
Because think about this, if I'm a
Worst part.
stranger, let's say I was a stranger kidnapping a person, right? Look at all the cars that was on the property that you don't know ain't working. I keep trying to tell y'all everything you need to know has been sitting there in front of you the whole damn time. If I'm a random stranger, I don't know that all them cars sitting up on the lot don't work. So I'm just gonna drive up there and see all them cars sitting up there and think I'm going to bust up somewhere, steal somebody's kid. I ain't never been up there. I don't know what I'm getting ready to kidnap. Come on now.
And
and
that's, I mean,
Don
that's,
does not punch a time clock. So he could say, I'm done at 2. I'm done at 1. I'm taking off at noon.
I mean, it's
I
just the
just wonder
process.
how far they would get in 3 hours. How far could they actually go?
It's the
But
process
you
of
always got to remember, you're not thinking of what it's like living here. They don't gotta go far. She could be right in plain sight, but because of the vegetation, you're not gonna know.
Well, you know that vegetation is going to go away here. Fall comes and winter. All the
Yeah,
trees will be bare.
but guess what? That's not gonna mean anything if we're not talking about like living in New York City where you're walking by every day on a sidewalk street. It's not made like that here. We don't even have sidewalks.
Yeah.
So who's gonna find her? She's not even gonna be whole. She's not whole now, probably. Yeah. Think about it. So it's not gonna even matter.
So if you go through the process of elimination, the abduction theory has to be out the water. So that leaves her wandering off or something happened. Her wandering off. You live up there.
But she's not that kid, remember?
Well, okay, forget all that. Anyways, if she did wander off, you live up there. So if Equal Search and all those searching people are out there, could they have really missed her?
Yes, they could have missed her.
Okay.
They just found somebody in Roane County not too long ago, and the first thing the searcher said was, "We searched that area already." Point blank. He was there all along.
I read a story about that happening too. That's why I was asking that question.
Ran into the RV, ran into the tree allegedly. He was thrown off, died. He's been there the whole damn time.
But wouldn't there be evidence? Something.
But that's the point. Not with the heat and wildlife, probably not.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The wildlife is so. I guarantee you,
it's too hot. She's going to deteriorate fast in the heat, and then you got to count the wildlife.
Is anybody looking for vultures up in the sky?
Yeah, Dave Rader mentioned that. He said that's the first thing that they start looking for.
They're going to be buzzing and buzzing all around.
Well, he kind of ruled out the wildlife taking her like a bear or something because he said in the incidents that they found where people that has happened, there has been evidence. Something that
But I'm
when they-
saying after she had already deteriorated, the animals are going to take
Yeah.
up.
yeah, he
And
mentioned
then
that.
the vultures.
I think that was last night. Whenever they went up there the last time, that's what they were looking for too. They watched for that, and they just went up 2 weeks ago, so they would probably be circling by now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder if
Do
they
some
look.
buzzard watching, Queen? Want to go up to Rogersville and do some buzzard watching?
I'm already waiting on somebody to go up there. I'm just waiting on them to say the word. But I'm not going to look. I'm going to talk to the pilgrims to ask them, how do you all feel about living up here and knowing this little girl is missing? I'm not going to look for somewhere else because I would have no idea where to go look for a child. And I'm not getting ready to pass my big butt out there no heat.
We're just going to go look for some buzzards.
Don't know where to look. You wouldn't know where to look. It's vast land.
Inside.
You wouldn't even know where to start looking for a child. It's nothing but it's just vast land. You wouldn't even know where to start. It's sad. It's sad.
You know, I think about that verbiage that they use. Summer got gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to decipher that. I don't know whether that's a Southern thing or if it means something. It just bothers me a little bit. Got gone.
To me,
I'm gonna look it up.
that one,
Got gone.
he says that on everything though, because like whenever he's talking about going to work, he goes, "When I got gone." Whenever he was talking about going with that guy, I mean, he uses that phrase a lot. And he'll talk about
Patty has a good question. Do you think they have put had the car and truck, they put a GPS tracker on them in case they went back? Probably. Go back and check to see if she's disposed. Very good question. I tell you what, if they did put a tracker on one of their cars and them dodo birds went back, ooh, we say.
I don't know what the laws are on that. I've heard people talking about that. I don't know.
Well, it's been done. You know it's been done.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people are like, when they were searching that house, did they lay down some bugs so we can hear what they're saying after they leave?
Let me tell you something. The FBI, they don't need your permission to do anything. And that's why people get it confused. They don't need your permission. They never have and they never will. How do you think they were able to take down John Gotti?
Yeah.
You think they went and asked John Gotti, can they bug the little lady's house above the pool hall? They asked her permission. No, they went in pretending to be phone technicians. He bugged her apartment. And that's where he had his meetings and told everything.
Oh, she leaves. Sorry. I was reading comments.
Yeah, I see. Oh, sad. You want to hit the link? I'm 1 hour in.
I'm going to say somebody needs to come up.
Okay.
We froze up. I missed half of that, all of that.
Okay. I need one of the mods to drop the link so somebody else can hit the link. Come on, you guys.
Yeah.
There are many photos surfacing, of course, on the social media pertaining to Summer Wells. A lot of the pictures the child looks different in those photos. You're entitled to your interpretation. But it was brought to my attention that perhaps the family were dressing one of the boys as a girl. Hit the link and tell me what do you think about that. Because some of the photos, Summer Wells does look different. Hit the link.
Some of the people are asking about Don's work site.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, that means he would have had to not gone to work.
Yeah.
Very sad.
I think
Thank
this is
you.
going to happen. I have a feeling this is going to happen this way. When we least expect it, there'll be an update and something.
Somebody said Candace has said all the kids share clothes. Those boys would not fit in the summer stuff. Well, somebody is saying that one of the boys was a smaller child. So
I
I
think
don't
he
know if
was
that's what
9
somebody's
or
referring
something.
to. Say what?
I don't know. I think he was like, the youngest was like 9.
Okay. I don't know. See, I don't keep up with this stuff.
I don't know whether a
I don't know
9-year-old
how
could
all the
fit
children are.
into her clothes.
Oh, we
Hello?
got somebody.
Or
we
Sherry's buffering. Go ahead, Rags.
I just said we got somebody else, but she's just
Go ahead,
spinning.
Julie. But the Wi-Fi's acting up.
Yeah.
You know,
So let's
there
go
was some
back a
bad
little bit.
storms that come.
Well, Chris went to work after he killed them and dumped them where he dumped them. Of course, yeah, he went to work. He was cutting his time dumping his wife and child. That's when no, he was crazy. A lunatic. Oh, Nancy behaved. Candace told Chris she did laundry. What was she washing? I don't know. Y'all are horrible.
That's what I was kind of saying because, like, everybody, I'm probably going to get jumped for this, but everybody goes back to, like, the clothes she was wearing in that picture. But you see how they are. Those clothes probably were in the back of that truck forever and they dragged out something to put on her, you know? You know, it could have been something as simple as that because she did not prepare her for the day. Come on. They got up.
Or
Well, listen, if she didn't prepare for the day, then where does the jacket and the pants come from?
That's what I was saying. It's probably they went to a yard sale, picked up some clothes. They may have been in the back of that truck for a year. They're at the swimming hole. They grab them, put them out. I know a lot of people think they.
The reason why it's odd to me is because it wasn't Candace's car.
Right, it was Grandma's truck. But if you look at the back of Grandma's truck, it's full of junk.
Okay, well, she's a hoarder. We'll say she's a hoarder.
Yeah, she's probably cold. I mean, this is just my
let's go ahead and say this. Let's go ahead and say this and get this out of the way. We don't have confirmation that the clothes were new. Let's say that.
Right. They said something about going yard sale.
Version. Yes.
So if they went.
would be appropriate.
We need to debunk that. We need to debunk that now.
Hold on.
Those clothes would be appropriate if you were heading north, though.
Yeah, but we do need to debunk. There's no receipt that the clothes were new and bought for some event that was supposed to transpire on that evening she went missing. And I find that interesting that was also thrown into the conversation. Oh, yeah, well, she was wearing that because she was going to this, and this. Don't you find it interesting that everything is a convenient answer?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like everybody's saying that they dressed her up for, to sell or whatever. I truly believe by living where I live in country, folks, they just went to a yard sale, threw the bags in the back of the truck, probably been there for a year. She was cold, they grabbed something. I mean, I don't like you, there's no receipt, there's nothing.
Can you ladies hear me okay?
Yes. Where are you calling from?
313, Detroit, Michigan's area.
All right, Detroit, bring it to us.
Well, I've been following this Candace Donwell's poor missing summer.
And you was really rocking in that chair out there on that.
I love this front porch swing. Well, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time ever live.
What the hell you doing swinging and swing on a Detroit porch this time of damn morning?
Actually, my mom and dad was from Alabama.
Okay.
And I have a few acres down there, and I'm thinking myself, I'm 56 now, and I've been thinking the last few years about I want to get me a trailer, setting it up on my property down there.
Okay.
That's a beautiful place. So down south, and the people are hospitality ain't nothing like the South.
You got that right, but you also know we are talking about a missing baby from the South.
Yeah, that's true, honey. That's true.
I try to tell folks, Don't come down here thinking we real country. We can get you gone now.
Oh hell yeah! No, there's a lot of wood to get gone in down there.
Well,
There
that's
ain't
the
no
point.
joke about that.
Let me tell you something. A lot of folks, listen, a lot of folks that left here in a body bag back up north.
Yeah.
Because people underestimated people from the South thinking we are green.
You ain't kidding.
Go ahead, sure.
So, well, you know, I've been following this, and especially with Chris McDonough
Okay.
on the interview room.
Okay.
And the reason I've been following him is because of his credentials.
Okay.
You know, and that's about what my voice is on him. All these other YouTubers that don't have really nobody to say anything about, you know, I'm not going to listen to their version of the story.
Okay.
I've listened to actually what's come out of Don Wells' mouth
Okay.
in the interviews. My gut feeling from the get-go is I don't trust him. If I had met the man, I wouldn't have trusted him. I don't think, you know. I don't know. It's just a personal. Dad always told me, and he's passed, but Dad always told me follow that gut because that's your sixth sense.
Mhm.
You know, and I just don't. I haven't. The whole story hasn't set right, and now
Well,
it's all come. And now it's all come out with the whole family with the sexual abuse.
Mhm.
You know, and everything, and just I don't know, just that whole storyline there, and everything's not adding up. I really wonder. I'm with you. I want Queen. I want to know why she was wearing her first day of kindergarten outfit that day.
Yeah. Mhm.
Was
Well,
that the good?
let me ask you this.
And it
What
breaks my heart
reason
to
do you
think
she
about.
had it on?
Is that the goodbye outfit?
Yeah, it was. You know that.
You know, and that's what. It just tears my heart to think that for the child, but
Yeah,
I
because it
don't.
makes no logical sense.
Yeah, no, it don't.
I can see, let's say, okay, let's just say this. She got cold coming out of the water, right? And I say, well, put that jacket on. I ain't gonna tell you to put the pants on. Probably.
Yeah. No, not on a wet bathing suit, bottom. You know.
And you don't hear anything about a drying towel. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Mm-mm.
I plan to go to the quarry, but I don't take towels to dry.
Well, Candace said in her interview with the interview room that there was a pillow in the back seat, and that she had her sit on a pillow because the mother had a fit about the kids getting in her truck.
Yeah.
Was
well,
wet,
then that means
you know,
she's
blah,
telling
blah,
you
blah.
that she's been driving her mother's car.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. But
Then
thanks for letting me jump on. I just wanted to give my opinion
Oh
about
my
that.
goodness, Demetrius Harris. Hey, everybody listen. I noticed Summer's hair is totally dry. She was laying on the milk. Wouldn't it be wet or semi-wet if she left from swimming? Shut your mouth. I told you, you always miss something.
Yeah.
You didn't catch that. Nobody caught that about the hair being wet. Stay woke.
And Hunter was in, or H was in the swimming hole too, but he didn't have to sit on a pillow.
Okay, this is why I said, where are the drying towels?
Yeah.
Y'all, please, come on now.
Yeah, because if you're gonna know you're going by the swimming hole,
thank you, Demetrius. I keep saying
when you're in the South, when you plan a day out, you take everything with you. You make your list. You make your rounds and do everything. Because once you go back home up to the hills, you know, you might not get back out for another week or so.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point, because that's something I haven't heard on one YouTuber's channel. The hair is dry. Shut up. Lord, have mercy, I'm dead.
Well, see, but also remember,
and that's sitting right in front of us. And that's sitting right in front of us the whole time.
Their plans wasn't to go swimming. Their plans was to go. Actually, she didn't put on anything. Then they were going to go fishing.
Okay, but it still lines up with where are the drying towels? The picture that somebody's been uploading on their content, that they see stains around the waist of her in the seatbelt. Is that water or is that blood?
Oh, that's blood. That's my opinion only.
Now you're talking about, do I decide if that's water or blood versus dry hair? See, It's all jacked up there. Short hair
Mhm.
dries quick. Yeah, but guess what? Short hair ain't gonna dry quick in a SUV with air conditioning running.
Yeah, and Dobie was talking about going to Tennessee now and looking for vultures. Honey, that stage is gone. Them vultures done.
She has
That
hair
baby,
on her head. It's short, but it's
yeah,
still hair. Come on now.
but that'd be about the only thing that they would find. That and some bones, maybe. Because you
Well, it
figured
may drive 5 minutes, but what we're saying is, if we're going straight in the car and then you got air conditioning on, it's just a theory.
Yeah, that's a theory. Yeah, gotcha there. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I haven't looked at that picture close enough to really comment on that one. I haven't blowed that.
Well, her hair
up.
would only dry fast. Yes, shorter hair gonna dry fast. But if you're inside, it's not like if she's getting out every time her mom got out. She didn't say every time she got out the car that Summer got out of the car.
Mm-mm.
She didn't say that. Sergeant King, how do you know if the air was on or not? Come on now.
I believe, and I also think that with the history of SA with Don, that I wonder if because she wasn't getting ready to go into kindergarten, that's why she's disappeared.
Okay.
Because when you start seeing these professional people and people in school, you might confide in somebody.
Well, basically what you said is 9 times out of 10, you forgot one thing about what you're saying. State laws, you gotta have a physical.
What's that, huh?
A physical.
Yeah.
Hey, Queen, you didn't ask Sherry her view.
About what?
But what you ask every caller that comes up.
What do you think happened to Summer Wells?
I don't believe she was abducted. I believe the parents have had something to do with her being gone, and I just don't know what yet. I'll be really interested to see TBI and FBI come up with all these phone pings and what's going to end up coming up in court depositions and everything else coming up. It's going to have to be a wait and see. But I think that they had something to do with their.
And what do you think the something is? What do you think the something is?
I don't know. Don had a big talk with Chris about, and he even went on this child sex trafficking ring, and I wonder if they hadn't done something for money.
Oh, you mean the thing he volunteered to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. I kind of lean maybe a little bit towards that accident theory. Maybe Candace anger got a little out of control. Maybe she smacked her a little too hard and the kid fell and hit her head or something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this: was she alive or deceased in the back seat of that car?
I'm thinking she was alive.
Okay. So you say Summer Wells made it home?
Okay, probably for that video, for that moment. But who knows for how long after that?
So are you saying she made it home or no?
I'd like to be able to talk to them young boys.
But I'm asking you, do you think she made it home, sweetheart?
I think she made it home. And I think that Don had a lot of time, like after work, between the phone call, before the phone call to 911, to help resolve the issue.
So what are you trying to say? She got home, and what happened when she got home?
I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe Candace's anger or something got out of control,
Okay, so who dumped her then? If she died at the house, who dumped her?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I think Don. I think Don, because I think, you know, him making sure that he was seen by his boss and seen by the other coworker at work at a certain
Because we don't have no confirmation on that either.
at a certain time. Well, this is Don's words.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but no confirmation.
Yeah. This is Don's words. You know, that he had met up with them.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, and who knows? I mean, if he's a paid contractor like that, you know, or just a side contractor like that, is he getting paid cash money? Did he meet the boss up for his cash money that afternoon? Was that why? Is that why? You know what I mean? The other guys also showed up. It was like all of a witness day, you know.
Yeah.
He's got his witnesses lined up.
Well, you know what's amazing is with all what you're saying right now, imagine if he's been lying and those other people know the truth. Have mercy.
Yeah. Something between the three of them, and then I'm a grandma myself. I have a 20-year-old, soon to be 21, and a 14-year-old granddaughter, and man, I'm telling you what, if my grandkids would have come up missing, I wouldn't have left state.
Yeah. So you do find that suspicious, the grandmother leaving?
Very much so.
Where do you think she is?
Very much so. Especially with her own daughter, quote unquote, supposedly missing for all these years. Don't you think that she would have the sympathy for her daughter?
Well, maybe, can I say this to you?
Yeah.
Perhaps that grandmother is numb, an empty vessel, and her daughter has gotten her traits as an empty vessel. Perhaps she had a problem with having a girl child, jealous of a girl child, didn't want a girl child, and easy to knock her off because I didn't want to be a mother to a girl in the first place.
Yeah.
You see, you got to remember, people carry the traits from their parents. So we have a woman, you know, who possibly was numb, raising children. Now her child has more children who were taking out her custody. She now has more children with a man. There's abuse, neglect, drugs, alcohol, and now one of the children is missing and the other three are taken by the state.
Okay, this is something I had heard. I don't know where I even heard this from, probably from jumping on some other YouTube channel earlier on. Is it true that Candace had another child after Summer that was adopted out?
I've heard rumors. I don't know.
I was just wondering about that. You know, because I mean, if she would adopt that one out, then you know it's a possibility she didn't want Summer to begin with.
Well, somebody in the chat is saying, I think grandma was there for the kids. Once the kids were gone, why stay? She did not get along with Don.
Yeah.
You want to answer that?
Well, maybe there's a reason why she didn't feel love and warmth for Don.
But think about what you're saying. I want y'all to think about that statement. She don't get along with Don. Children all gone. She fears for her safety with this man. You thought that'd be a good idea to leave your child with an abusive man? Stay well. And the fact the child's still missing. Does that look appropriate? Does that sound like a caring mother?
No. No, it don't.
Okay.
No. My parents would have been there for me if my child would have come up missing.
Son-in-law is beating up on my child, abusive. Why the hell would I leave my daughter with him? Oh, they ain't got no kids there now too. Very dangerous situation. How about this? I want to pose this question to the people in the chat. You're welcome to hit the live stream to give me your 411 on what I'm getting ready to say. Has it ever occurred to you all what they actually talk about when they're alone? Stay well.
Like to be a fly on the wall.
Amen.
I'm taking you guys back in the dungeon garage for a minute to get a cigarette.
Because what if the conversation is about what they did to Summer Wells? Imagine that.
Another thought on why
God only knows, honey. God only knows. And I'm telling you what, I'd hate to have to be the one on Rapture. As Don Wells wants to preach on Rapture Day. to have to answer for that. Somebody's gonna have to, and all these lies that they've put out. So
I think the child is deceased. Somebody asked me in the chat. I think she's deceased. I think she's gone. But like I said, it could always be that small percentage that they sold her. But I think she's
yeah,
been gone. Raz, what were you gonna say, babe?
I was just going to say that another reason why Don may be covering for Candace
Mhm.
is because of the essay. Because
Mhm.
if they were to take her and they examine her body, they're going to find out.
Okay. But y'all keep forgetting one thing when you throw out the allegation of sexual assault, when you throw out the allegation of abuse, you keep forgetting
Right.
one major factor. You stand in line to be the culprit when she got missing.
Say that again. There's background
what's
noise.
that?
When you say
Mine cut
they got
out.
rid of
Yeah.
the child, when you say they got rid of the child for sexual assault, or CPS was coming, or we don't want them to find out about the abuse, or if we are to believe that the state was already involved, you are now number one in line as a suspect. So how is that going to benefit you? You're caught either way. You're caught if they find out she's been touched or penetrated. 2, you're going to be a suspect as her missing. Why would your child go missing if the state's supposed to show up? Because as I state, we don't have confirmation about the state being involved before Summer Wells went missing. That's Ali Mulani's version. We don't really know what the hell's going on. And the state's not going to tell Ali they're getting ready to go to Candace Bly's house. They wouldn't do that.
No, once they take that phone call and CPS
They're
is
not
sent
going
out,
to tell you nothing. That's right. Amen.
that party is no longer involved.
Well, see, I don't know anything about this too much.
Well, how about this?
I heard they've
Go
been
ahead,
out.
Rex.
Well, I don't know a lot about the CPS. I heard they've been out there a few times.
Okay.
Do they let you know if they're going to come and get the kids before they do that, or is that like a surprise visit?
No. Why would I tell you I'm coming to get your kid?
Wow.
No,
I'm never going to tell you.
that's surprise.
Yeah, I'm never going to tell you that.
If they're going to come take your children away, they're just going to show up. They're not going to show up with, they're not going to give you a warning.
It makes no sense to tell
give you time to hide your kid.
Go on the run with your kid. Yeah.
So that's just a blatant lie then. Okay.
Okay, let's think about this. You all want to keep throwing sexual assault. We don't have no proof that there's any sexual assault against Summer Wells. What if, since you keep saying it's sexual assault, what if both of them have been doing something with her?
Yeah. Well, like I said that at the beginning, we have no proof. Supposedly nobody knew for 40 years, but
and that's a hell of an allegation to put on a person or persons.
Yeah.
About their own child. But I'm sure people are coming up with that because of this Trish business.
Right. And that's what I was saying at the very beginning on the other chat. Nobody knew for 40 years. And then he met Candace. I mean, he's just not going to say, I did this. She may never have known. I said that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And he may have never did anything.
It was his phone call that he called and screamed at Chris McDonough about, and he wouldn't answer about his age and cussed him out. And you guys heard that, right?
Yeah.
I saw it last night. Yeah, before I went live. That's what made me go live when I saw that somebody on the channel.
Yeah.
Posted it.
We're talking
that's what really led me into the SA, theory.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about before that because, like, he had 40 years ago, and supposedly nobody said anything about it. And then they said Candace knew, and I asked how Candace knew because he's just not going to sit down and be in a casual conversation about it. And that lady that was with us said the mom always knows. So,
you believe that, Sharon?
I believe that she might. Okay,
I'm gonna ask this question since Rags put that out there. Do you believe Candace Bly is the type of woman that knew and still allowed it to go on, knowing allegedly? Let's say allegedly. Hypothetically, he did.
She might be that broken down. Yes.
Okay. Rags.
I couldn't fathom the thought. could there be people out there that would? I'm sure it happens every day.
Yes, it has. I told the story the other night. I know somebody that did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens in relationships.
Somebody did.
He is
The brother
controlling.
blessed the sister.
He's narcissistic. He's
She allowed him
sociopathic.
to come around her children. And when she was confronted, she didn't say a word. When the person told her that your baby daughter is telling people that your brother's touching her.
Yeah. I mean, there's a
And
lot
for
of
him to at 12 to dismiss the age difference with this alleged.
Yeah, when I watched that last night, because I had heard about it, but hearing it was a totally different ball game.
Yeah,
To
and
sit here
then
and
when I heard it come out of his
5-year-old
own mouth,
yeah,
I was
but
like,
to say it,
OMG, you know.
To say a 5-year-old was soliciting a 12-year-old, you can't get no better than that.
No.
That's so low down. There are no words for that.
That's like,
So that lets you know you willing to say a child came on to you at 12. You already letting me know you was down for whatever.
no, that baby was looking at My Little Ponies and Dog Patrol and, you know, playing little
Candace Black,
princess.
listen, Candace Black can leave Donald Wells. People, you leave their abusers every day. Really, let's be truthful. If she wanted a way out, this is her perfect way to get out right now.
Yeah, you know that. You know that,
she
right?
Has no kids.
You know?
She has no kids. She don't have to have no money. She don't got to have nothing. She got as somebody once said in a movie, the freedom to roam. This is your chance to leave Donald Wells right now, scot-free and clear.
There's a lot of shelters that'll help you.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, they're not getting those kids back, baby. Get your program back.
I don't think so.
Because if you don't leave now, when you gonna leave? She's already metamorphosing into a man. Why not go on and go?
Yeah, she looked pretty butch at that church thing.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm telling you, her demeanor is telling you a lot.
Yeah.
The way she talked, the way she stood. I told myself, man, I said, this is sinister all day long.
Ooh, I gotta wash this porch off. Look at that awning. I'll show you guys my dirty porch.
I ain't looking at your dirty porch. Look, long as you ain't got no school bus parked up there, you all good.
No. I do have a broken down Malibu that's out here in the driveway, but
well, we can't see the Malibu. Don't show us. You just keep the camera on yourself, man. Okay, let me ask you this: what do you think about? What do you think about the church? Because we didn't talk about that in my last live. Hit it, Rags. What is the church thing?
Let Sherry go first, and I'll think on it.
Okay.
What do you mean about the church thing? Huh?
Rags, you got to think about that.
What Don and him on his preaching on his stool?
No. What does the church? How do the church feel about them now with all this stuff that's been said?
Oh Lord, who knows? They probably distancing themselves from them. I'm sure. I don't know. They still had prayer vigils with them. There was a few members
there.
There
been in there last week. One but 3 that they showed on the camera.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
You know, yeah, it seems like their support's diminishing.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what I thought. Imagine the person I thought I knew in the church before I knew anything about your criminal record, the allegations of sexual assault with your family, and now all that's come out. Do I really want you back in my church, around my church members, my children? Stay woke.
Well,
no, in the way that he's been talking on social media. No, the church probably don't want him back. My dad was a deacon of a church. And
yeah, but where is he talking at on that social media? He's sitting in that church pew. That's why I don't know.
Where is Robin? Very good question.
She was at the last school.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. The
one with 3 people standing there?
Yeah, Robin's holding her hand.
I didn't see that. I didn't watch. I just saw a clip sometime.
But I know the last slide not the last slide he did.
Somebody said Don's giving interviews from the church. Okay.
From the church. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He was sitting in the church pew.
Well, that mean the preacher left?
The preacher came out and talked to him
Where was that?
on one of his lives. I mean, you didn't see the preacher. He was just telling him have a good night or something like
Yeah, I
that.
don't watch it. I don't watch that stuff every day. I can't watch it.
But he did come out and he told him like to have a good night or something. He goes, "You too, bub," and he's like, "That was the preacher." Like,
So
it
this
wasn't
is a
nothing.
recent. This is a recent.
Yeah, it was only
Yeah,
like
this stuff, man, pops up in my news feed every day because I'd watch so much of the Summer Wells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's stuff is popping up in my news feed.
Yeah. That happens. Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I've clicked on a couple and tried to
Well, let's
listen
go
to
here.
a couple people, but
I've asked you all about the church.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't really know how to answer that because they're obviously
That's
not.
okay. I'll put another question out there. How about this? What made Robin go talk to a YouTuber?
I don't know. Maybe she just wanted her side of the story out there.
Okay, but guess what? Now think about what you just said. So you just told me she was at the last prayer vigil. So you said holding her hand. You think Candy King wants you holding her damn hand after you just went and talked to a YouTuber about the door, the basement lock, and what you think and don't think versus the police report? Say what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tina, be good.
There was only like what, Sherry, did you see it? It was like one guy and Robin. And I think
There was
Robin,
only a handful of people. Like,
on the clip that I saw, because I didn't watch all or whatever I saw, but the beginning I saw was 3 people plus Candace.
Yeah, there wasn't very many.
But I'm gonna say it again. Robin, you went and talked to that YouTuber and everybody knows who he is. Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
I didn't see that, Robin.
Because I'm trying to understand, you fell off thereafter. We didn't see you no more. And now you all are coming here telling me she was at the last prayer vigil. How was that going to work that you went and talked to a YouTuber about your friend and whatever she told you about the basement, the door, whatever? You don't think she's going to look at you as some type of way as suspect betraying her? And you're at the prayer vigil holding her hand? I got to call you out on that.
Queen, you got me drinking coffee at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I got to call you out.
I mean,
I gotta call you out.
it's just a little tidbit, but Tina put in the chat, a snake slithered across his foot while he was at the church, and that did happen.
I saw them talking about the snake.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Teresa, how you doing?
I finally made it on. I got my eyebrows on at least.
Okay, what? Where you calling from, Teresa?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Good. Welcome. What you got to say?
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
Well, it's not about the church thing. It's just something I've been wondering about when they were talking about the
Keep
EquiSearch.
popping up for me.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I got
Yeah,
2 people in the bottom that are just spinning.
Okay. When they were talking about the EquiSearch, they could not find one
Am I just
thing
not picking them up? Is it my
to let
Wi-Fi again?
the scent of summer, right?
Okay,
Supposedly.
go ahead.
All right,
Candace did
ladies.
all
Well,
the
listen, I'm
laundry
going to jump
that
off.
Okay, Sherry.
I'm still going to just. Thank you for having me on. I'm still going to listen. I'm just going to go do my dishes.
Thank
I'm
you.
do my dishes. Thank you.
Okay,
You too. Bye bye.
Bye now.
She's talking about doing some dishes. Lord have mercy. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now,
Teresa.
when they were doing the EquiSearch, supposedly Candace did all the laundry that day, and they could get one thing to pick up the scent with summer. And I'm thinking, you don't have not one favorite blanket, not anything. What about the pillow she sat on in the car? I guarantee you they did not wash that. Could they not have got a scent off that? Could they not have used a rain boot, a
Slow
shoe?
down for a second. Where are you getting this from about giving them something to smell?
Okay, when they were doing, I'm going by the law, what they put on TV about.
I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah, the EquiSearch, when they were talking about sending the dogs to pick up this for summer.
Okay.
And Candace said, "Oh, I don't have anything. I did all the laundry today. I even washed all the sheets." And I'm thinking, on that day when you got back from swimming, that's what you did. You washed everything in the house. So you couldn't one thing with that baby's scent on it, not a favorite blanket, nothing.
Because she already said it was a lot of laundry, if I wasn't mistaken. A lot to do or something.
It takes me forever to do a lot of laundry. I couldn't have
got
Well,
what
you're
she's
talking
saying.
about 4 children and 2 adults, so you can use your better
Exactly.
judgment.
Exactly. You could not have done everything in that house that wouldn't left a scent. Why wouldn't
Okay,
she try?
so where are you trying to take this commentary, ma'am?
That right there tells me they didn't want them to be able to pick up a scent. She could have been on that property and the dogs would have smelled it right then and there. You know
But
what I
you
mean?
do know it would not have mattered about a scent. They're going to search the property regardless.
Right. They did, but wouldn't they have been able to find her better if she was alive or dead or something? If they had her scent, you know what I mean, on something, like I'm saying, a shoe, something. I mean, I would have came up with anything if it
Yeah,
was
but see,
my
we don't
child.
really know. We really don't know what's the truth or not. We don't know what they gave. We don't know what they found in the house that was hers. See, we don't know because they're not going to tell us any of that.
Yeah,
And
but
that's the
just
thing
what
about
they
the
have
story. We
told
don't know
me,
anything.
that bugs me. That's something that always has bugged me.
I've
That
never
and
heard that. So that's a first for me. I've never heard that.
yes, go on and look at the when they're talking like Duty Ron and the Echo Search when they're talking about the scent dogs when they brought them and
Okay.
they were really arguing and said we had to put all our dogs that were supposedly gone in the
In the car.
SUV so it wouldn't act around the dogs. You know what I mean, and keep them from picking up
Okay.
the scent.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
but also, Teresa, remember, they said they couldn't find a scent, but yet they said that they traced their scent to the road. So something
Right.
doesn't sound right.
See, all
Don said that. Don said that.
No,
well,
Dave
and
Rader said that.
Really?
Dave Rader
Yeah.
also said, but
I didn't
the
know
dogs
anybody said it.
now
Well, you know what's
back.
weird about all that is the more everybody says that, the one person that ain't said it is law enforcement and the news.
Yep.
Don't you find that odd?
Yes, it's like when are you going to get them in
Come
a
on.
room
They
and
never
start
said
really
that.
interrogating them? I want to
Right.
know when they can do that. Why haven't they done
Because,
that?
because every source I brought about this story, I have not one source that ever said nothing about a dog and a scent. Ever.
Really?
Ever.
See, I'm
No.
trying to go by going back at the beginning. So
Yeah.
all this stuff is
Every
not
article I
confusing.
got, I've got all my articles. I read it to the chat verbatim. And there's not one news piece I've brought on my post, on and the articles I've read, not one has ever mentioned a dog scent. Ever.
Oh my God. I don't even know how many they had there. I think it had to be at least 2 because I know they mentioned the bloodhound for the scent and then the cadaver dogs. So it
Okay.
had to be at least 1 of each. But yes, it went to the end of the road. And I'm like way off left with what I think happened to her. When you guys are talking, I'm thinking that they just didn't want to admit. Do you notice how she was like, I was gone for 2 minutes. I walked her to the door.
Yeah.
I was literally gotten, I'm thinking nobody did 2 minutes. I think they're just trying to look good and afraid to make themselves like, hey, I wasn't paying attention. I literally, you know what I mean? She went over and I was just whatever, and we weren't paying attention. She could have went anywhere because that is one of the things the law enforcement said on their first video was she was on the property. She was last seen on the property, not the basement, not with the boy, anything like that. It was on the property. So they've changed their story several times. You know
Well,
that.
and that's why you know they are complicit, because when you go listen to the dispatch call, she
She was out
basically was
walking.
removed. She wasn't even on the property. The
Yeah,
mother
it
was.
said she was out walking, and I'm thinking, did Don tell her just say it like this because it sounds better? Because he's always like coaching her what to say, because she will talk with no filter and just plain as day when it's just her. But when he's sitting there, she always looks at him. She talks, her demeanor completely changes. You know what I mean? I can feel it. And it's like, that's why he keeps her away from the camera. He says, oh, we're not going to be filmed at these vigils anymore unless you guys put up all your cameras. But then he'll jump right on the live stream with whoever asks him or whoever he calls up. He's not shy. He jumps right on. And I'm thinking, then why are you afraid for them to watch you at a prayer vigil for your daughter? Why would you be afraid?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something. What do you think happened to Summer Wells?
I think she literally was like bored. She's a kid. I'm thinking back to when I was 5. I would have been like, I'm not going to play down here in this basement by my freaking self. I'm going to just, you know what I mean, go chase my dog, whatever. And I think she took off down the dog path or down the driveway and got picked up at the road where that set ended. I don't know if maybe it was set up and somebody was waiting there and she was sold. I don't know, but I do think she took off down that. It's not far. If you go that dog path, you're down to that road in like no time. For a little that walks around there all the time and knows that property. She didn't listen in church. You can see her up and down, and I would have
Yeah,
gotten
you
my
saw
butt
that.
beat if I would have been up and about at church like
Yeah, that's
that.
why I said I've never seen anything like that before in my life. I'm just.
My mom would have gave me this look like, "Oh my God, do you want to go to the bathroom and not pee?" And I would have known better. I would have sat down. I would have.
Well, I think it was disrespectful to one allow her to keep doing that, and then your mother sitting over there one time sleep. That's
I
just
know.
disrespectful to me. So disrespectful of the church.
It is, and she's got her hood up, and like literally, it's like, really, do you want a pillow too? I'm like, what are you doing? It doesn't make a bit of sense, none of it. But I do think she just wandered off, and they wanted to act like they were good parents, and they screwed this all up. If they would have just been truthful in the beginning and be like, look, we were not paying attention.
Yeah.
She just took off.
And so we don't know what
blah,
kind of
blah, blah.
history they've had with law enforcement, and when you know you're not living right and you've had problems with the law.
Yep. But I'm sorry, that's my kid. I would have flat out been like, hey, this is what happened. I literally was not paying attention. Get my kid.
Teresa would have done that.
Yes.
Teresa.
And that's why I think Don's like, she's not on the property, because he knows she's wandered off before. Candace knows she's wandered. Because why look how she acts in church. That was another thing. They had a doctor on watching her. And there's like, she said she shows sensory, it's like deficit or deficiency, you know what I mean? Like, that's why she's always rubbing Robin's dress, the feel of it, or these tongue thrusts. And you know what I mean?
And
She
the
has
hair.
that.
Playing with the hair. So,
Yeah. And how she walks and looks at people like directly and up in the air and off gazing. And it's like, those kids are very hard to, you've got to keep an eye on them and at all times, because they're just like.
So you believe
done.
that, so listen, so you believe that this notion that she would just stay on the property, the swing, is not the truth. Is that what you're saying?
It's bullshit. I know she would not have listened. He even admitted, he was like, I tried and tried to get her to sit down in church and I just gave up. And it's like, but she wouldn't leave the property though. You know for sure she would never leave the property.
So how's it different? Church in your house, as if they would be different?
Right. It's like, you know, she doesn't listen and she doesn't mind. Just admit that. Don't waste our time. Don't waste anybody else's time. Be truthful in the beginning. And they've screwed all this up. And now they're just like covering up lie after lie after lie. And look at this big mess. They never dreamed it would get this big and blow up out of proportion. They thought they would probably find her quick. But they didn't, because they give them all the facts in the beginning to start with. That's what I may be wrong. You guys may be right in all this. I hope to God not.
No,
but
you look, as I tell people, you're entitled to your opinion. But my thing is, nobody's going to know the truth. Nobody knows anything except for the people who got her down.
Exactly. And who's to say, look how we're just all seeing this right now. Who's to say that these neighbors haven't been looking at this and like, oh my God.
They've been watching. Haven't you figured that out with all the different versions and narratives? They've been watching.
Yep.
Every time you listen to him talk, he has something new to add to June 15th.
But before all this happened, before Summer disappeared, you know the neighbors have known about Don and Candace and their kids, and I guarantee you they've been like, those poor kids.
I'm waiting for the person to come forward to help clean up the property. Yeah, I heard about you. You don't want to come forward and tell us who you are.
Yes, I've heard that too. Some person said, like, that second day I heard it, they were like, what happened to all the beer cans that are around there? And I'm like, what?
Yeah. So my thing is this, let's go there. The house is not seen from the road. So that means you've been going up to Candace Bly and Donna Wells' house. Why?
Right. I don't know. That's something I cannot figure it out. I'm missing something. It's just like, what is it? And then I'll hear a little bit and then I'll kind of think, well, God, there's no way to do that. I just have a feeling they're leaving out a lot. They're leaving out so much. And I have a feeling there's a lot of people up there that haven't admitted we used to go up there all the time.
And that's why I'm
going in and out there. I don't know.
And that's the whole point. Somebody knows something about something.
Yes.
See, and small town is kind of like the city. people don't like telling on folks. That's the way it is.
Yeah. I guarantee you they're just hoping they don't come out in all this mess right now. At all. They're just like, oh my God, please don't mention my name. I don't wanna, I don't know you. Guarantee it.
Right. Oh, mercy. Very sad. Very sad. What do you think about this? Someone had mentioned to me, perhaps that one of the boys was dressed as a girl in the photographs.
I had never heard that before. I have never heard that before. That was the
Okay.
first time I heard it.
Well, you
And
know,
I
a
was
lot
like,
of her
what?
pictures, she looks different in her pictures. So one could say she was malnourished in some of the pictures. Some could say, is this really her in all the pictures? Because a lot of her pictures, it looks like two different kids. So what are we saying?
It does. It does.
Okay.
Well,
That swimming pool picture where all the kids are in the little wading pool. Her head looks so big on her body, and you can see every bone.
Uh-huh.
And I know how some kids are active and they aren't malnourished at all, but
Yeah.
she's
It's a chemical build because every child is not built the same. That's just common
right.
sense.
But you can see every bone in her arm, and the little boy behind her, must be the youngest one. You can see every rib. I mean, just it looks like a skeleton with skin hanging on it, and I was just
So
like,
what do you
oh
think?
my!
That she wasn't feeding her children? What are you saying?
I don't know. I think they probably hate. You know what I mean? I think they were feeding them, but just like really not putting a meal on the table, nutritious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they had to fend for themselves, and you know what I mean? Grab what you can when you can, and whatever's there. I don't know. I hate to
Okay.
put it out there because I don't have facts on it. Just the pictures.
Okay.
well, Queen,
But
I'm going to step down. Thank you for tonight. Thanks for letting me.
Oh, thank you, Miss Rags. I know you tired, honey. It's almost 3 o'clock here. I'm not
I
gonna
better
stay
get off.
I'm 2 hours
I
in.
better be
Okay,
getting
I'll
off
talk to you
too.
later, sweetheart. Thanks for joining me.
If you guys want your phones, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Okay, baby. Bye. Okay, that's Miss Rags. Okay. All right, Teresa. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. It was just bugging me, and I was like, I wanted to put it out there about it. I can't. Some of those little things have been like not matching up at all.
Yeah, okay. I understand.
Really got to watch what you're saying on here, though. It's like you heard about Jamie, the guy that did the video. You know what I mean about the past. They showed up with guns at his house because of the way people on the internet listen to stuff and just no facts, anything. It wasn't
Jamie.
even the
I
same
don't know who
Jamie.
I don't know who you're speaking of.
Okay, there's a Jamie that did the dog trail video for him.
Oh, so he lives out there is what you're saying, or he just went there?
Yes. All he did was do the dog trail video. This is what he does. He drives, you know what I mean, around and does videos he has for a long time, different places and
He drives
things.
who
And
around?
what is it?
I didn't hear what you said. He drives who around?
He just drives around and detective type stuff, you know what I mean, making videos.
Okay.
So that's what he did. But the people thought he was the Jamie, which was the tweaked out guy that Don worked with. They literally showed up at his house and had guns and everything else. And it's like, oh my gosh, you can't do that. That's not even the right person you're doing this to. Yeah.
Somebody says his name is Jack Hammer.
Yes, that's it. He's a nice guy.
So
And I felt
do you know what part of Tennessee he lives in? Is he in East Tennessee or where does he live?
he put on his video, I watched, you know, I mean, he was like, please spread this out. This is what's happening. He said that he's 15 minutes from Don's house.
Okay, so he's in that general area. So it wouldn't be hard to find out where he lives. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, right. But it was the total, not even the right guy. And it's like, he made me stop and think about, you know, before you type, you know, and you say it a lot too. Do you have evidence to back that up? Do you have evidence to back that up? It's important because people just put stuff out there and then it's on another tube, you know what I mean, the channel. And it's,
but see, that's the whole thing about this story is that you don't know what to believe. And I tell people that all the time is that most of the information that you have gotten pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells is from H, Allie, Don Wells, and Candace. And it's up to you to decide if you believe these said people. I personally, I take everything with a grain of salt. There's probably a little truth over here, a little truth over there, but you don't know what to believe. And yes, you do have to be careful going to places, looking for things, searching for things, going on the same street where the people live, because you don't know these people. You don't know anything about them. You don't know the neighbors. You don't know who's in cahoots with them. You don't.
Yes,
So yes,
exactly.
you have to be careful. Yes, you do. And then you have crackpots who get mad at something you say in the chat or on the channel, and then they want to try to follow you and cuss you out and get in inboxes. That lets me know you're just as crazy as the people we're talking about in the story, because one, you don't have anything invested to be stalking a YouTuber or comment.
Yes.
It's not that serious.
Yeah,
It's not that
that's
serious.
crazy.
It's not that serious.
But that's what I mentioned earlier too. Don, when he was on that 3-minute telephone call, and he got it's like his
No,
cheese slid.
Donna, you do not use your real name on social media. Don't you ever use your legal name.
What do you mean?
You don't ever use your name on social media.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm talking about what somebody said in the chat, because they'll dox you, they'll find you. That's how we had all the confusion months ago with Cal City. People using other people's names to chat in the chat and stuff. It's sad to say that you innocently go in a chat and comment. You didn't think somebody's going to follow you out of there to another social media site like Facebook or IG and stalk you. You don't have the right to be stalking anybody. And I don't condone that behavior. Some of you rock like that. I don't condone it.
But what he said in that 3-minute interview, his cheese slid way off. I mean, all the way off the cracker at that point. And it's like, that's the real Don. That right there, that is who.
You said the cheese. Honey, that cheese been gone.
Yes, it's gone. But
you tell me what he said that let you know that he slid off the cracker.
Because he let it all go. He wasn't covering himself up, and he knew it. That's why he hung up so fast, I think, and was like, oh God, what have I done? Before he could shut his mouth. But he didn't get that upset about all these interviews we've heard him talking about Summer. I would have been upset like that and crying and been talking to the supposed abductor and saying, please bring my kid back.
Bring my child back. Yeah, that's what I said to you. I've been saying that. I've been saying that.
Can you put him in jail, do you think? Oh, I don't know. I couldn't do that. And I'm thinking, you freaking liar. Are you crazy?
Yeah, but that's showing you who he is, and he's been telling on himself every time he talks. Every time he talks, he's telling you who he is, what is going on with him, that wife, and that child missing. Because we already know it's nothing wrong with forgiving people, because if you believe in the Bible, God tells us to forgive people. But common sense, hey, my child is missing. Right now, I ain't really trying to think about you. I want to know what my child is. I want my child back.
Yes. I would have been going in houses. I would have probably been arrested. I would have been going in houses and looking around. I mean, I can't even fathom it. I don't know. But he totally, that right there, that's what did it for me.
You can get food stamps as a felon in the state of Tennessee. And 9 times out of 10, she was getting food stamps. She had too many kids not to get food stamps. It doesn't work. And you know damn well he wasn't probably making enough money to feed 8 people.
That's true. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to bring up that point. It's horrible.
Is she alive? Is she alive or dead, Teresa?
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Teresa.
Yeah.
Is she alive or dead?
Oh, is she alive or dead? I want to think she's alive, because they haven't found anything. They have not found anything, and I just keep thinking they sold her. You know what I mean? I'm thinking that they got money, and I can't find out from anybody. How much do these people pay for a little kid? If she didn't go to a sex trafficker, if she went to a nice family, so that maybe made them feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's something he mentioned in that dream. He said that dream he had. Did you hear him talk about the dream he had where he said she looked like she was well off? Yes. Well off people. So I think he's telling us something. So maybe perhaps she isn't deceased. Maybe she is with somebody well off. It's very interesting.
I think she is still alive. Because why else wouldn't they be showing all this emotion and worry and this and that? It's like they already know she is doing good. We know she is. We gave her to a better home.
Yeah.
You know?
But see, the flip side of that is whoever has her will never be able to bring her outside. So how's that going to work?
That's what I was thinking. It's like, Where would they take her? Can they homeschool
what
her?
would be the purpose? What would be the purpose now of having her and they've reported her missing? So you have to ask yourself that. Why would I hand her over
Well,
and then go report her missing?
they could always dye her hair later, but for right now, they could keep her in, you know what I mean, and hidden for a while until, you know what I mean, her hair's grown out some and her facial is going to change quite a bit, and then it dies down, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, as long as she's far away. But I really do. I have this feeling, and maybe it's a hope, but I think she's still alive. I really do.
Wow. Well, I like I said before, if she is alive, that means you're never going to bring her outside, though. You couldn't take the risk, because how are you going to explain to law enforcement that you have a child that was reported missing, abducted, whatever word you want to use? How are you going to explain that?
Well, they're not going to have to, like, if they have this kid, they can say she's being homeschooled for right now. I mean,
Yeah, but
think
I'm
about it.
saying
If nobody knows, they would have
you're
her.
going to homeschool a 5-year-old to the age of 18.
Well, I'm just
And she
saying,
never
just watch.
goes, and she never
It's
goes
happened.
anywhere. Just think about this now. She never goes anywhere for how many years? You're going to leave the child captive in a house.
That's something I haven't figured out yet.
So that's why I
Maybe
try
it's
to make
just a
people
hope.
think about that when they say she was sold, somebody's got her. You got to think about one thing. If you did buy her for whatever reason and you kept her alive, that means you're never going to let her out the house.
Right. I think it's a hope thing. I just want to have hope that she is. I want to believe she is in a better place, but who would buy some kids like that? And maybe they were thinking, oh, this is awful to have a kid live here. You know what I mean? Let's get her and take care of her. I don't know. I thought that before too. It's like any of those neighbors were probably thinking, oh my God, I feel so bad for these kids, you know, look. And picked her up, and now we're scared and don't know what to do with her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was what I wanted to come on and finally say.
Thank you. But like I said, the sick part will be you go down for having her. You won't be
Yeah,
able to explain that to
exactly.
law enforcement.
Exactly.
You won't be able to explain it. Thank you, honey.
Oh, thank you.
You're
I love
welcome.
your
Thank you so much. Bye, baby. That's Teresa. Okay, everybody. Thank you. I'm not going to stay much longer. I'm 2 hours in. Like I said, you're entitled to believe what you want pertaining to this story of Summer Wells. A lot of rhetoric, rumors circulating about the child, what happened to her, who said what, saw what, Tacoma truck, pillows, milk jugs, twisted tea, vapes. This goes on and on. Psychotic father won't stop talking, doing interviews when he knows he shouldn't even be talking to anybody. A mother who's basically fell off. 9 times out of 10 because Donna told him to be quiet, stop talking. But I think they told you a lot in what they've said in the interviews. And I just can't think logically your attorney telling you it's a good idea to speak to anybody when there's an open investigation about your child missing. It's just a very sick story. I do believe Donald Wells has told us a lot pertaining to Summer Wells. I think he's told us that he and his wife are complicit to her disappearance. Whether she is alive or deceased, we probably will never know. And even if he gave his child away or sold her to somebody in the guise of thinking that they're going to keep her alive, he doesn't have any idea what somebody would do to his child once he got the child gone. How in the world would you know what somebody's going to do to your kid, even if they appear to be decent people? We have a lot of sick people out here, and people will do all kinds of things to your child. And we know this from the stories we hear from people as they become adults. That people thought they had a great life, great parents, and then we find out they were physically and verbally abused by the mother and father.